Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Finding the funny. Finding the funny. With Ruth and Ange. Finding the funny.
Angie.
Patty. We have not really spoken
No.
since last Monday's record. We've had a few,
Messages.
massages.
I sent you one thing that I just keep cracking up about is I sent you that thing on Instagram and it was that person drawing a heart and it said the person this initial will shart their pants tonight and it was an A and then you just messaged back fair enough. Absolutely creased me up. Tonight this initial will shart their pants. Fair enough. That was so funny. Fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Fair enough is actually quite a good little phrase, isn't it? For a lot of shit.
Because it can also be quite passive aggressive.
Yeah,
Can't
fair
it?
enough.
If
Yeah.
somebody says something and you're like, oh, can't really argue with that, a fair enough is like, oh, yeah, all right, shit, you've got me there, fair enough.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I saw something funny this week
Yeah.
on a Instagram profile called Get Baked. So
Oh.
Get Baked, they do this most luxurious piece of chocolate cake.
Oh, wow, okay. Luxurious. Oh, is
Which
this piece that's like 45 layers?
Yeah, so it's like the it used to be called the Bruce because it was like the Bruce bog trotter cake in Matilda.
Oh, right, okay.
So it's
the
like
Bruce,
very
yeah.
rich, lots and lots of anyway.
Layers.
This person emailed the owner of Get Baked directly, and this is what it says. Hi mate, I'll cut to the chase. Me and the missus are meant to be eating clean after Christmas, but I've been having cheeky Kit Kats and all sorts at work. I'm pretty sure she's been doing something similar, if I'm honest, because she's got no willpower either, and she comes home smelling like digestive biscuits. Anyway, I really need to order again for delivery, but I've noticed that you're using branded mailing bags now, and if she sees it, she'll go fucking mental. If I order and send you my order number, will you put it in a normal DPD bag so she doesn't know what it is? She won't open it if it's got my name on it, but if she knows it's from you, I'm done for. I'd order to work, but I can't order personal parcels there. Right fucking conundrum. Thanks in advance, mate. And then this is the response from the owner of Get Baked. Hi mate, this made my week and it's only Tuesday. Send me your order number and this can be our little secret. Wish my missus smelt like digestives. She sounds absolutely incredible. Tell her I said hello. In fact, don't. If she knows we've been speaking like this, you're well and truly done for, Rich.
That is so brilliant.
So funny that he's like, I need to get a piece of Bruce in my life.
Yeah.
But they're now using Get Baked.
It's got to be incognito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the fact that she says she's doing something similar because she comes home smelling like digestive biscuits.
And when he says, I wish my wife
My missus
smells
smelled like digestive biscuits.
I do love a digestive
Me
biscuit.
too. Matthew has actually said that's his favourite biscuit.
I actually think it could be mine. I mean, as we've discussed many a time, I'm not a big biscuit fan.
They are
But
good,
actually,
though.
if someone comes in, but actually just a
standard
plain,
digestive, yeah.
Yeah, digestive.
Digestive.
Plain digestive.
Yeah,
Don't
good
want
for
any
fibre.
chocolate on it.
Good for
Good
fibre
fibre.
digestives, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
A digestive dunked
In a tea.
hot tea. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I saw that and was like,
That is so
hilarious.
good.
Yeah.
That is a very good one.
If
Pet.
my
Now,
missus finds out, I'm going to be fucking done for.
Now, I had in 2 messages from 2 different people with the same thing.
Oh.
Yeah. So we had...
Shit.
Yeah. So we had one in from Alexandria Gorelli. She sounds fabulous. Patty's just glugging a load of what do you call that?
Ribena.
Squash.
Sorry, I had a tickle in my throat and I would have
Right.
kept coughing. So Ange, start that again, please.
So, had two messages in with the same thing
Right.
from people. Right, the first one came in from Alexandria Grelly.
Really?
Sounds fabulous, Alexandria Grelly. And then also in from Fiona Gray.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Fiona, not quite as fabulous as Alexandria Grelly, but there we go. We can't do a lot about your name.
No.
But they both sent the same thing.
Okay.
So they say, scrolling, this is from Alexandria, scrolling the gram, found this amazing word and made me think of you two. So it's kind of like a bit of an urban, slightly.
Okay.
But it says, dictim, in brackets, noun. Someone who is a dick, but acts like a victim.
Seen this.
Uses, person 1. I heard your ex-husband, person 2. Let me stop you there. No one gives a fruit flying fuck about that dictum. Which I just thought was such a brilliant. The one that came in from Fiona, similar vibes, still loving the podcast, saw this. Oh, so she's put it, yeah, she said an urban, saw this urban. You maybe can't use it. I was thinking, Fiona, mate, what is there not that about that we're not going to use?
Have you listened to our pod, Fiona?
Yeah.
It sounds like you probably haven't if you don't think we'd use dictum.
But yeah, same thing, dictum, noun, someone who acts like a dick, then acts like a victim about it. And I thought,
that is...
I think I actually probably know quite a few dictums. Maybe not a few.
No, I don't think I know any, but there's definitely people I've met that you're like...
You're a dictum.
Dick,
yeah.
And you wander around like you're a victim.
Yeah, dictum.
Yeah. Get your head out your fucking arse, you dictum.
Let me stop you there. No one gives a fruit flying fuck about that dictum.
A fruit flying fuck.
I've read that one, but I like it.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought they were very good. So many thanks, Alexandria Gorelli and Fiona Gray.
We had Hayley send us a message on the Instagram inbox.
Right, yes.
And she just sent us...
Of which, just to clarify, people, I still don't have access to Finding the Funny Instagram. So apologies if you send any sort of message that was specifically for me. I'm still not in there. So maybe let's give Patty some shit this week. Okay.
Yeah, Angie's being a bit of a dictum here now, isn't she? She is a dick and she's acting like a victim around the Finding the Funny Instagram
And actually,
box.
you don't give a fruit flying fluck about it. Fruit flying pluck.
Hayley just sent us a picture and it's of a packet of biscuits called Custard Cream Twists.
Oh,
they are in Sainsbury's with a hot cross bun flavour filling. Sainsbury's are taking this shit too far. We've had mince pies, and she just put underneath. Oh, I can't get back to the message. She just put underneath. If it's not mince pies, it's fucking hot cross buns. So they've bought out a custard cream which has got a hot cross bun cream filling.
What? Sainsbury's are obsessed with this shit.
Sainsbury's are going mental for having different flavours of different things. What is going on?
Right. Producer Joel has just said, next week, let's do a taste test of all this shit.
Right. This week, Ange, let's make a list of who's going to bring what.
Yes.
And we'll have a little
do some
segment.
Tastings.
I will definitely take the rhubarb and custard hot cross buns.
Yeah, because you think you'll like those, don't you? No.
I will like those.
They sound rank.
They sound amazing.
No.
Yeah.
But that is a very good shout, Producer Joel.
Yeah, let's do a little taste test.
Yeah.
But can you believe that? Sainsbury's were the ones that were going mental
for mince pies.
They've now got custard creams that taste like hot cross buns. Just leave it alone. A custard cream is a good biscuit. Don't dick around with it. A custard cream tastes nice.
you don't need to be shoving mince pie in the middle of it.
No, not mince pie.
I mean, hot cross bun. You see,
I mean,
they're
they're basically the same thing, aren't they? Spiced fruit.
It's a spiced fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your mince pie, your hot cross bun. Now then, we did actually, although I said at the top of the show that we hadn't really talked, we did. We had a FaceTime.
We did, and it was very funny.
It was very funny. It was one of those FaceTimes where it was you, me, and Nella, and we were absolutely wetting our pants,
losing our shit.
And we ended up talking about, and we were like, right, we have got to discuss this on the pod, right? We ended up talking about the days, and I mean, what do you reckon? This goes back to like 70s, 80s,
no, 90s, not as far back as 70s and 80s.
Well, one of them would have been your Tupperware parties.
Yeah, but 90s, I reckon this was all
90s was a big thing.
Oh,
yeah,
it was huge.
Yeah, you know, and basically what we were talking about was when, you know, you used to have your Ann Summers parties or your Virgin V parties.
Or your Body Shop parties.
Yeah. Or your jewellery parties.
Yeah. Stella and Dot.
Yeah. Like, that was a thing that we all did. And now it's just fallen off the face of the earth.
People went mental for an at-home party.
Yeah.
Which is weird because it was just the same stuff you could buy in the Chiltern Centre in Body Shop in High Wycombe.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, this is a cleanser that you could have picked up on Thursday, but you've waited till Saturday at this party where somebody's going to serve you
to go around Trisha's.
Yeah, and we're all going to come in a sparkly top and be like, oh, isn't this nice? The ones
jeans and a sparkly top.
Yeah, the ones that were the weirdest were the Ann Summers ones.
Now
want to just pass around this dildo, Mom? Look at this. Oh, Mum's holding a dildo. Oh, are you going to buy one, Mum? You know, like. It'd be like our friend G did one.
G.
And there'd just be stuff laid out on the table like
crotchless knickers and handcuffs.
You know, do you want to put an order in for a dildo? I mean, you think about it now and you think that is weird.
Yeah, but it was so normal.
Oh, you used to love doing a Virgin V party. You got heavily into Virgin V.
Virgin V. It was a nice little earner.
Yeah. You would go.
Sort of think, I'll get my pals round. I'll get a couple of packets of crisps, a couple of bottles of the vino, get out some Virgin V. Everyone can have a great time. That's what. And then off the back of that, I'll earn myself 50 quid.
You rub it on the back. Oh yeah. Oh, I think I should buy that. And everyone would go particularly nuts for them around Christmas. You'd be at one every other week around Christmas.
Yeah, that was a mega
time.
Virgin
V and Summers. Yeah, I'm going to get my mum some crotchless pants from Ann Summers for Christmas.
It's just
so weird.
Yeah.
And it all started from the Tupperware party, which is even weirder that people would go and sit and pass round pots.
Yeah.
With lids.
Because we were talking about it, and I mean, Nella, this is like a whole new world.
She couldn't
She's
believe
like,
it.
What? You used to go around someone's house and look at Tupperware?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. You'd sort of pick up a box and you think, oh, I like that one. That'd be great for some chilli or leftover curry. What sort of lid do I want with that? Do I like a red lid, a yellow lid? What
what size do I want with that for the sandwich in it? Would that be good for a lunchbox?
Oh, that'd be good for a lunchbox. Yeah.
That's where it started, and then it just grew and grew and grew, and it was like before you knew it, you were a different one every Saturday, the month of December, buying all your Christmas presents, basically.
I mean,
the Body Shop ones, though, I found weird because it was just the same stuff that you could get in town. It was like there wasn't anything new.
No, I mean, Ann Summers, because were there Ann Summers shops at the time, or was that just all online? I was there.
Yeah, well, it wasn't online. It was only in shops at that point.
Was it?
What, the 90s? You wouldn't have had an Ann Summers website in the 90s.
No, that's true, yeah.
I think if going into an Ann Summers shop would be embarrassing, but I'd rather be embarrassed there with people I don't know picking up a vibrator than sat next to my mum having passed round a big dildo going, oh, what about this one? You might need lube if you use that one because it is quite big. I mean, who wants to do that?
Yeah, it is weird, isn't it?
And it'd all be giggly, wouldn't it? And it'd be like,
Giggly.
oh God, is this one? This one vibrates in
Oh,
4 different
yeah.
ways. Oh.
That one's too small for me.
Whee!
Hey, I want a right big floppy one.
You don't want it to be floppy.
I remember at one of these parties I went to at one point, an Ann Summers one, and there was
Yeah.
a big dildo that was, I mean, huge, like really boingy
Floppy?
and stuff. Yeah,
What?
yeah. I don't know
What
what
did
you
you do
use that for. I
there?
don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was really sort of.
That is weird.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it
Like a
was
flaccid
big.
cock.
Well, it was sort of
Semi.
semi-lob on.
It was a semi-boner.
Semi-lob on, yeah.
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 Right. Not quite erect, not quite
Not-
flaccid.
No, sort of your mid-range. It was a mid-range dildo.
What's the mid-range?
I don't know. I just remember it being really massive.
Oh,
I think that's
Lord.
really stuck in my brain, that.
Yeah, that
That
has.
big one. Yeah.
Yeah, well, those parties were funny, and this is essentially what the
Oh.
phone call was like.
Now then, we had one of these that we haven't done for a long time.
Go on.
We had a because
This
In.
is going way back.
this is mega
This is
mega old
archive
school.
stuff,
This is
yeah.
archives.
This is
This is the archives.
Yeah. That started the jingles, actually,
That was-
didn't it?
that was the start of the
original.
jingles. Yeah,
So
yeah.
in the very, very early days, for those of you that are new around here, in the very, very early days, we had a segment called The Big Questions.
The big questions. Yeah.
And it would be questions that people could email to us that they wanted to know the answer to. We've answered loads of big questions in the past.
Mhm.
And it still crops up every now and again. People think,
Mm.
oh, I've got, especially if people go back and listen to the archives, they think,
Yes.
oh, the big questions. So
Yeah.
Ange then started to sing that in a very funny voice. And that was the start of Ange coming up with the jingles, really.
Yeah,
That was
that
the
was-
original
yeah.
jingle.
That was my
So-
jingle career started.
That
there,
was
didn't it?
that's where it
Mm.
started.
Yeah.
So the big questions is literally any big questions that you would
Yeah.
have for Ange or I that you would like us to answer.
But also, it can be a sort of like a big question that's not actually that big.
Like, what's your favourite chocolate bar?
Yeah. Do you like custard creams?
All of that.
All
jazz.
of that jazz. So it
So-
can be a big question that's not a big question, or it can be a big question.
So if you're new around here,
Yeah.
that's the big questions.
That's what they are. Okay, so this came in from Beth Richley.
Okay, Beth.
She said, "What's your life mantra and why?" Which I was like, ooh.
I know mine.
Beth's gone balls deep with that.
I know mine.
Okay, off you go then, Pat Sheens.
Will this be important in 5 years?
Right.
Because when I get anxious about something, or I'm really worried about something, or perhaps something is like, I can ruminate quite a lot on things. I can get quite like fixated and like, oh my God, this is going to go wrong, and this is going to go wrong, and this is going to go wrong. I sort of say to myself, well, Ruth,
Just
is this going to matter to you and your life in 2 years? Is it going to matter in a year? This time next
you probably
year,
don't
are you
even
gonna-
need to go as far as 5
No.
years.
Is this going to matter in a year's time? Are you going to be worried about this, or is it going to have gone? Because if this isn't something that is going to still be overhanging in your life in a year, 2 years, 3 years, you probably need to let it go.
That's
That would
actually a
be
very
mine.
good one, Pats.
Yeah,
So what is it again? Will this matter in, let's say, 2 years?
2 years.
A
Will
year.
this matter to me in a year to 2 years?
Yeah.
And if I can stop myself, if I'm getting really anxious, I don't know, perhaps something's happened, or I think somebody doesn't like me, because that's normally what it is, or I've done something wrong, or like
You do feel that a lot.
a lot.
Don't like
yeah.
that's. I'll never forget the first time
Yeah.
I realised that was a massive thing for you.
Huge.
It was when we were in
Huge.
Houston
Oh yeah,
doing the Super Bowl,
yeah.
and I remember you. I think we were on a car coming back from somewhere, and you were literally like, Angela, I just don't know if they like me.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you on
Yeah.
about? Like, it was the first time that I was really like, I would never have even thought that would at any point cross your mind?
I know you get really pissed off with this stuff, right? And I know you're like, oh, everyone's got it. But I honestly do think I've got ADHD. Because I get hyper fixated on stuff a lot. Like I get into stuff for a short period of time and then
You
I
do
drop
actually.
it.
That is true.
I do the same with friendships. I get very hyper
yeah,
fixated in friendships and then they sort of
filter off.
out.
Yeah.
I am so unbelievably sensitive to criticism, and that is a big trait of women who have ADHD. Like ruminate on stuff. If I make a mistake, like somebody could tell me at work, for example, 12 things I do really well, but I would never remember those. I will only ever think, yeah, but I did that wrong. I get very self-critical. I'm really sensitive to like especially in big groups, like what do they think of me? Like what am I too much? Am I coming across as too much? Do they think I'm a bit of a prick? Like, and I actually genuinely do think I can't really focus on tasks for a really long time. I get so hyper fixated on stuff. It becomes my whole life.
Yeah. I
It
mean,
is
now
bizarre.
you've said all those sort of things, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, actually, bloody hell.
Yeah.
Would you ever do the whole kind of...
Yeah, I would like to get diagnosed because I think it is helpful, especially in like a working context, to be able to say this is something that I struggle with and you know, in terms of like procrastinating and like I'm not very good at staying on a task. A lot of the time I'll have
flip
like
between...
I'll have like 10 things that I'm working on at once, and I go because I get so easily bored. I just get so bored.
I think I can be a bit like that as well. Not so much with the kind of like worrying if people like me, and that I don't think I really
so sensitive to criticism.
Yeah, and like that, you know, I mean, I don't think anyone particularly likes criticism. I don't think anyone goes,
but it's always a personal attack with me. It's always like somebody can tell me something about my job and I take it personally. The amount of times my manager has had to say to me, Ruth, this is not personal.
Yeah.
This is not about what I think about you.
This is just about the job.
X, Y, and Z that needs to be done.
Yeah.
I'm so super hypersensitive to all that stuff. And I ruminate a lot on it. And that whole thing of like, will this matter in 2 years' time? Like this thing that I'm worried about right now.
Yes.
If I fast forward myself 2 years and I'm back and I'm thinking about this, I'm probably going to go, that was a waste of time. I didn't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
You know, is it going to matter in 2 years or are we at a point where actually in that time
I just need to
probably not going
I just need to let that go.
Yeah.
That is a very good one, Pats. Mine is actually it's actually something I've said a lot to my children, which weirdly I think it was something that I've said a lot to them, and then I think it's sort of in turn sort of coming back to me a little bit.
Right.
And it's actually off a print that you gave to me on my 40th birthday.
Oh, I know the one you mean.
And it's stand tall, dream big, bow to no one.
Yeah.
And the amount of times I have, if my children have been going to do something that's like, I don't know, like something that's a bit kind of new or different, or I will always text them and put that in a text: stand tall, dream big, bow to no one.
Yeah.
And I think over the years, as I've used that for them or for, you know, other people that I sort of think actually that might be a helpful thing, I've kind of started to think I need to start applying that to me a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's my mantra, I think, is something that I use a lot, and obviously that's a picture, a print that hangs in my lounge. I quite often just catch myself reading it or looking at it, and so yeah, that was kind of from you, Pats, to me.
It is nice, that print.
Yeah, it is. It's really, and the fact that you got it for my 40th was like something that I've kind of always remembered and kind of I've had that nearly 10 years.
She's knocking on the door of 50, guys.
Shit! Oh, shit a brick.
Stand tall, dream big, bow to no one, Patty.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I just thought that was a little thing we haven't done for a while.
Very nice having a big question.
That's a good question from Beth Richley. So
well
let's
done, Beth.
chuck that one in.
Things that shouldn't be embarrassing but are things that should
Okay, so we had a Justin in.
Things that shouldn't be embarrassing that are.
Things that shouldn't be embarrassing that are. This came from Sarah Gibbons.
Okay.
XXX. So she says, which actually now ties in with the fact that you were having to download of Squash
Right.
at the top.
Okay.
Justin, when you try to stop yourself continuously coughing during a meeting / assembly.
Yeah. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing.
Also, do you think, I sometimes think if I know that's coming, I'm also worried about farting or
Yo,
pissing.
for sure.
Yo,
For
for
sh-
sure.
yo,
for sure. There's a whole combo of shit that's going on in that coughing episode.
But if you like at the theatre,
Oh yeah.
if you really can, I think the theatre is the worst place for that to happen, because in a meeting you can get up and walk out, get yourself a
Yeah.
glass. If somebody's
If you're
going to say
online,
to
you can put yourself on mute.
exactly, somebody is going to say to you, and they, oh, are you okay? Do you want to, Ruth? Do you want to go and get a drink? Or you mute yourself, or you just say, I'm really sorry, I'm going to have to go and get a drink. There is a way out of it. If you're at a concert or the theatre, I remember once when James was doing The Constituent, Mum and Dad went to watch.
Oh no, was it when Mum had one of her coughs?
Mum wasn't very well. And Mum could not stop coughing. And James actually said, I was on stage thinking, who is that? Turned around and it was Mum. And she was like, I couldn't stop. I could, whatever I did. I was right in the middle of the row as well, so I couldn't get up and leave. And they were, at The Constituent, you had those seats that were the other side of the stage.
like almost like on the stage.
Yeah, so at the theatre that James did The Constituent at, it was almost like in the round, and the back of the stage was taken off and there were seats put in, and Mum and Dad, she was middle row of one of those seats.
No, she wasn't.
So there is no way she could get up and leave. She said, I was putting a tissue over my mouth. I kept putting my jumper up over my mouth. She said, whatever I did. Then James said at the end of the play, they met him afterwards, and he was like, she said, oh, I'm so sorry, I couldn't stop coughing, James. He said, yeah, I was doing my big monologue and I thought, who is that keeps coughing? I looked back and I could see that it was you.
I mean, that is classic Mark's behaviour, that.
She sometimes gets a real cough,
really
doesn't she?
stop.
It is horrible, though. I know that it annoys you, so you won't have any empathy for it, because it really gets on your tits.
Pisses me off.
Yeah, like that, and loud yawning was in one episode once. That you don't like people coughing or yawning loudly.
No, or the whole chewing thing.
Talking
people
of yawning,
loud chewing.
I was in a one-to-one meeting with a member of staff that I managed today, and she was blatantly trying to hold back about 4 yawns.
That's another one, isn't it? I did feel like
saying to her, mate, just yawn. I'm knackered too. It's Monday.
Have a big yawn, mate.
Just don't flare your nostrils and try and hold it in. I can see what you're doing. Like, you're not holding it in very well. Just yawn. Just yawn in my just yawn in my face. But she did it about 3 or 4 times. I was like, oh god, I'm being really boring in this one-to-one. Yeah,
but it is quite satisfying, isn't it? A yawn when you are really like, I'm really trying to hold the yawn in, and then
she
gives you the freedom to yawn.
Lip was quivering, nose was going, the whole shitting thing, and I should have just said to her, mate, let it out.
Go for it.
I'm not asked. It's Monday afternoon. It's like 2 o'clock.
I'm bored too, mate. Let's both have a big yawn and get it out the way. Well, like sometimes I get that weird thing with my
throat.
I get this thing with my throat sometimes. It'll just be like, I don't know, sometimes it's happened to me. I've eaten a bit of sweet corn and the sweet corn's gone down the wrong way, or even sometimes just a bit of spittle. But then I actually can't breathe. And I'm literally...
It is terrifying to be around.
Well, this happened to be a couple of times in a public domain, and it is awful. It is awful. But there's one particular time it happened. I actually haven't shared this with anyone because it was... What? So we'd gone out. I was with my pals, the Urban Foxes, another area of friendship.
What?
Area of friendship?
I was with my Urban Foxes, a little area of friendship. What the hell was that? I'm
It's
pleased you
because-
picked yourself up on that.
I
Because
did,
you
mate.
knew the
I said it.
moment
I
you
thought, what the
said
fuck are you saying?
a little area of
They're a
friendship.
friendship. What? I don't know where that came from. I think it's because I've got sort of categories. Not categories, but
What, Ange? What are you?
well, I've got friends that are in different groups. I've
Yeah,
got
but
urban
You
foxes.
don't need to call them an area of friendship. You just need to say it's a group of my friends.
Okay, group of my friends. They're called the urban foxes, right? I was
An
out with
area
the
of
urban
friendship.
foxes. An area of friendship. And we'd gone out. We'd gone out somewhere in town, and we were out quite late. And we all were like, "Let's get a dirty Donald's," right? So we go into the dirty one. This is about like, I don't know, 11:30 at night or something.
Yeah.
We go in, we get our dirty one. We're all sat down. I was sat with Big Fat Sue and Alice. Who the fuck is Alice?
yeah.
So we're sat there chomping away on a burger or something. Anyway, it happens. Right now, they are unaware that this is an issue for me because
Terrifying.
you don't talk about it, you know. Anyway, this
Because you don't talk about it, you know. What is wrong with? They're not aware that this is a thing for me because you don't talk about it, you know. It's like some dirty little secret.
I didn't sleep very well last night. I think
No
it's
shit.
catching up with me now.
No shit, you are on fire tonight.
Anyway, I obviously a bit of burger or pickle or something
no.
hits the back of my throat, right? This McDonald's is packed with, you know, young people hanging out, having dirty Donalds.
Right.
I'm sat there with Big Fat Sue and Alice, and it starts. This is what happens to me.
Yeah. It's basically that over and over. And
Yeah.
her face gets more and more panicked.
Yeah, because I'm like, I know it's going to be okay, but it's quite worrying at the
Yeah.
time because what if this doesn't settle down, right?
Yeah.
But you can't talk.
No.
So they're looking at me going,
Are you
shit,
okay?
Ange, like,
Are
is
you
everything okay? Do we need to get an ambulance?
And you're trying to say, no,
it's
no,
fine.
no.
It's fine. It'll be okay. This is quite normal. It does happen to me on
Yeah.
occasion. It has happened to me tonight. Anyway, just literally, I remember Alice going to me, Sue, do you think we need to get an ambulance? Do we need to get an ambulance? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I'm just having to sit there going, just let me, it'll pass, it'll
Yeah.
pass. And
Yeah.
eventually it does pass and then I'm fine.
Yeah.
But the embarrassment I feel in that moment is like, this is the worst thing that
I
could happen
don't
to
even
me
know
right
what
now.
it is.
Neither do I. It's so weird. But and it's if it's at home, it's like it's fine. Or when we like with you or whatever, and people
it's
just
like,
know
oh,
that.
she just needs to.
Yeah, she's just something's
Something's hit
going
the back
on.
of her throat. She can't cope. She's gonna.
It happened to me in the cinema. Bit of popcorn. Off I go.
No.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, that time we were me, Ian, Joel, and Nels were all in the cinema together. The popcorn hits the back of my throat. I start. Joel, producer Joel, was the only one that got up and said, "Mum, are you okay? Do you need a drink?" The other two
Couldn't
not
give a
give a
shit.
fruit flying fuck about me.
Well, I remember the
Dying.
first time it happened at our
Oh.
cousin's wedding.
Yeah, that was bad.
We were all. I actually genuinely, I thought you were going to die.
Yeah. Well, Ian started doing the bloody Heimlich maneuver.
Yeah, yeah, because it was terrifying.
Yeah, it was.
We were like, what? Even you didn't know what the hell was
No.
going on. You were like, what is happening?
Am I
to me?
dying? Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could not, for the life of you, catch your breath.
No.
And you're making this noise, and we're
I
all
know.
like, Angie, you okay? Angie, you okay? None of us really knowing what to do.
I know.
And then it just stopped.
Yeah, that
You
was a
were
bit
like-
of olive oil. That
Was
Yeah, a bit of
it?
olive oil. Yeah. I'm off. Breathing, can't breathe. Just give me a minute, I'll
Wow.
be fine. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, when those things happen,
Very embarrassing.
oh, you just literally want the ground to open you up and
Very embarrassing.
swallow you.
So that's another episode in the bag.
That
Another,
is
another one bites the dust.
It's like the Dacia Dusters.
Oh no! Right, so we've got to explain this because Ange is now absolutely beside herself.
Oh,
We've just
I've
had a
lost
whole
it.
conversation with producer Joel about Ange fucking up the song on the Dacia advert. Another one buys a duster. She was singing "Another One Buys a Dacia," which is not right. And because she's so delirious, it tipped her over the
It's
edge.
thrown me, mate. It was absolutely
thrown
thrown me. Yeah.
Anyway, another episode done. Feels like a
Done.
funny one. Feels like it's good. Remember, there's loads of ways you can get in touch with Ange and I. You can find us both on Instagram. I'm at Ruth_Corden. She's at Ange Corden.
You can find the podcast on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search Finding the Funny Podcast.
Or you can send us an email, findingthefunnypodcast@gmail.com. But Ange and I will be back next week helping you to find more of the funny.